played Witch Doctor in 2 out of the 3 games until Hokuri got smart enough to ban it. So statistically, this is one of their best heroes, buddy.
Well, also you first pick anyway, so you kind of have like a maybe not a throwaway ban, but like you want Nyx first, so Witch Doctor can actually like trade and be annoying to you, but so can Undying, so it's not exactly the best ban.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I was just confused by it, but I really like the Nyx here. No Nyx ban into, tiny support pick. We did see
Trent, how quickly we forget the inverse strategy of banning the Nyx Assassin and then first picking the Grimstroke. So, making some assumptions there. All right.
Well,
Beastmaster Undying. A lot of units here. Tombstones, Boars, Hawks. Good vision game.
Cool.
Their vision in team fights is pretty insane right now. Like if you get a Hawk off and then you have the Tombstone, they can kind of see everything. But Nature's Prophet into the Undying, we see this all the time. Best position 3 to go up against it. And I think with the Nyx Assassin now you have 2 heroes that aren't strength heroes, so you're not like reducing their damage when you're trading. Obviously, Decay is still really good, but the Treants are not something that Undying handles very well.
Yeah, it could even be a 5 Nature's Prophet, right?
Potentially, yep.
Yeah, you do have that flexibility.
Yeah, depending on how the game looks.
We saw a fair amount of position 5 Nature's Prophets in this week.
10 seconds.
I think they'll probably try and get a 5 like Oracle or CM though, and just try and shut down this Beastmaster. Because the last thing you want is another game like Jupiter Head where you just like got it completely out of control in the Beastmaster.
I'm surprised GP are the ones who ban the Panel Lancer. It's usually a pretty good hero against the Beastmaster, but I guess 0900 has first pick of the next phase, so they're afraid they'll pick it.
PL's been surprisingly strong. He's definitely a carry that, based on the first 2 weeks, has risen in the stocks for me. He's proper meta now.
It's one that Nyx does nothing versus. Think about like Wraith King gets to the Radiance. At least other heroes, they have like abilities you can like reliably carapace and stuff, but
you carapace just Phantom Lance. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, you're right. Invoker banned out now. Another good one. Some potential Sunstrike setup. Forge Spirits, more Zoo.
Sunstrike. I don't even remember the last time I saw a Sunstrike. Well, okay, we saw a couple, but like, geez.
There's been
all Quas Wex, though,
I gotta say, I'm happy about it, dude. I hate that Midas Invoker just destroying my pubs, buying Midas, being AFK for 20 minutes.
Pubs, yes, but pro matches, it's always fun to see Sunstrikes.
10,000% agree. I miss the good old days. If you see an Invoker, you know he's going Exort, and you're immediately like, okay, what's the Sunstrike combo? I miss those days of puckering as an observer, hearing that sound, and trying to figure out where the fuck that Sunstrike is coming. Observer's got it easy these days, man.
I remember there was someone kept running Shadow Demon Centaur Warrunner Invoker for like a year. And it was literally disruption into stomp, double-edged Sunstrike, and it just killed like anything with Soul Catcher. It can blow up like 2,000 HP.
Yeah.
That makes me want to play some pubs. That's
get some teammates going on. Some party queue.
I mean, you'd think with Nyx Assassin and his Shard, that would be prime territory for combos like that. Just blow them up. But alas, it's just overkill. We don't even need it.
Yeah. Plus, isn't it magic?
Is it spell or magic on Nyx's?
It's magic. You remove magic resistance.
Yeah. Okay. So no effect on the pure damage. I got you. Remaining. I hate that we have that mechanic now, where some things are spell and some things are magic, and you got to remember the difference.
Yeah, I mean it's good that most of them are spell now, at least for the most part. For like,
I like the spell mechanic, just purely from the trying to remember stuff. I always have to double check.
True.
Yeah.
Sort through that mental filing cabinet. It's a mess in there, buddy.
Oracle looks like a pretty good ban here still, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like pretty good versus the Boars and pretty good versus the Roar.
I'm kind of worried about their wave clear, though. I feel like they have very little of it. I guess Nature's Prophet, if it's a core, does offer a little bit. I wonder if they would play something like a CM here.
I think they're the CM or Oracle. I think are the two best heroes. Easy. Seems
Big
like
on
10 out of
CM.
10. And then Shadow Shaman's also still in for 0900.
I really like Oracle now after December.
Yeah, they could Ench as well.
No,
Another
she got
Dispel.
banned because it's also good versus the Beastmaster. They were one step ahead of you.
Banned. Yeah,
That kind of gave away their
I
Ember
thought I
pick
had
in
the
some
big
ways.
brain there.
Yeah.
Ah.
10 seconds.
They may have safeguarded a potential Ember or Ursa whenever you see that ban. So those are our heroes right now for Ench.
Yeah.
Beastmaster, Ember, and Ursa.
I'm gonna go full 180 on it. I'm in on
Put
the
those
Oracle.
in the bank.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up for Team Trent. Lead me, Guru.
There's lots
I do
of
feel like if
options,
they
though.
pick Oracle now, though, they do lose the flexibility of the Nature's Prophet. So maybe they'll pick their mid since they already know Ember's gonna be middle. And you delay the pick because it's not like they're gonna pick Oracle on 0900, right? They already have this Undying. They're not gonna play Oracle 4.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay,
All right.
go for the Lesh instead. So now some big time push.
Depending on
Nice,
what comes out, like Wyvern also looks okay for Gorillaz-Pride. A little bit of an underrated hero. I think if you're a Wyvern player, it's still worth it just because it is pretty good versus Beastmaster, and sometimes it has a really nice setup with the curse, even for solo kills. The range is just so good.
5 seconds remaining.
But this should be our 4 now for 0900. So laning with the Beastmaster, Shadow Shaman's the big 4 that's still left in the pool, but Earth Spirit's still in, Earth Shaker's still in. Plenty of options here, actually. Rubik's still in, but not the best Rubik game.
Yeah.
Team pick. Mirana.
Mirana! Another great
Love
one.
it.
Just they
Great.
actually had every 4 available. Besides Nyx. There were no bans on 4s.
True, our Spirit's still up. But I like this. You have the Roar into Arrow, Chains into Arrow. You counter the Tombstone deniability,
10 seconds
and
remaining.
you don't care about Sprout. It's a really good pick.
5 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
Big fan. Plenty of creep clear now on 0900.
Yeah.
It's a tough call now. Because like now the Oracle's like even better in some ways, but like you only get one false prophet. It's not like, you know, you can save one single target, sure, but they're gonna have like slight arrow, roar arrow, as you said. Like there's just I don't know if Oracle can really bail you out.
I like the Wyvern, honestly. You have the wave clear for the Beastmaster push. The Wyvern, sorry.
Yeah. Wyvern or CM I think are still fine.
So they saved the
Alright.
support for last, it looks like.
I think NP is going to be a 5, honestly. I feel like they're going
Yeah.
to keep it as 5 and...
It's pretty rare to
Unless-
last pick a 5.
Mm-hmm. And
Well, I mean it's ninth, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Dire team
True.
ban.
True.
True, but I think it's still pretty rare. Even with 9th pick, we don't see it that often.
All right, I like the PA. Good matchup versus Beastmaster. Can get that second point of blur in the lane. The boars don't really annoy you that much. Oh, we will see the Magnus.
10 seconds
Zayuri won so
remaining.
so much.
Oh, shit, dude. Is this the day? Are these the guys? Gorillaz
Dire
Pride?
team ban.
I mean, real talk, is it dumpster tier here?
Yeah, versus
Yes,
Ember.
he'd be
So
laning
hard
versus
to-
he'd be
Pretty
laning versus
bad.
an Undying, right?
Pretty
Assuming
bad.
it's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even middle, I don't think it's that good of a lane for
I mean,
him.
0900 are banning supports right now. They've taken out the
10
Grimstroke. That's
seconds
pretty good
remaining.
against Ember and Mirana. And potentially good against whatever they pick for their 1.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it looks like Gorillaz Pride just afraid of those hyper pushing heroes,
Oh,
and
the
they
CM.
commit to a second 5 ban.
Yeah, I think they're correct. They could theoretically Slardar here.
Without knowing the carry matchup, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
Scary.
it's like, what are they gonna
10
do?
seconds remaining.
Naga, what you really wanted to play? Wanted to see?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
I think
guess
I
Live
think
is
there's
fine.
just like enough flexibility with like the Lesh rack too, because like you could 3 the Lesh rack or 3 the Nature's Prophet. You could 5 the Lesh. I've seen that still fairly recently.
I mean,
Yeah.
they might just pick something like Ursa on 0900, though. Isn't that like unlaneable for Slardar?
Dire team pick.
It
it's not
depends
great.
on the. Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Good call on the Wyvern.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like it for
Keep
all the
it simple.
aforementioned reasons.
Stupid.
Yeah. Very nice. So it is that core profit.
I think you just have to. Like once you pick it
10
versus the
seconds
Undying, I just think it's like that's the whole value in it. Just makes way more sense.
5
Unless you see some like
seconds remaining.
really good 5. Or sorry, really good 3 rather. I think the Prophet was just fine. So far though, yeah, Gorillaz-Pride lineup, it's okay. It doesn't instill me with the greatest confidence though, not gonna lie. I feel like I look at it and I'm just like, okay, there's probably like a couple nice heroes here for 0900.
Did they just Ricky?
Wow, they had a minute 20.
I
They
sniped it. And I sniped
man.
it. I was looking at those bans like, holy shit, the Rick man is still in. And there it is. Great options against the PA. I think I like this 0900 draft a little more. I do really like the Wyvern. Some great options there, but I don't think I can go against a Ricky, especially since I'm a little hot on 0900 in general.
I agree with you. I think, they cover their bases. They have push with the Beastmaster, even though they have a Riki. And I just feel like their heroes are better. You have Beastmaster, Riki, Undying, and Ember Mirana combo. G-Pride, PA, not that hot of a hero. Wyvern can be good, but I think it's really hard to play versus Riki. Once late game comes and he has 1500 range on his Blink Strike, you just die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And my gut just says 0900. My gut mostly just doesn't like the Gorillaz-Pride draft. It can work, but they need those like really early plays from the Prophet and the Leshrac, right? It's all about like if we get a couple fast towers, if they get the first Roche, if PA just gets a triple kill at 9 minutes, because sometimes that just happens. You TP into the mid tower for a fight, and suddenly you're farmed. But overall, I have more confidence in the 0900 lineup for sure.
In G-Price defense, we did see Ben just destroying with his Nature's Prophet in the past, but I think their draft is harder to execute.
Okay, well said there, Bowie. Let's hand it over to our casters. First game of the day. The best of 3 starts now. Gareth, we're hailing you, sir. It's your time to drive this taxi into the Millennium.
Good morning, Zoe and the rest of the panel and all the viewers watching. Yeah, here we are. Game 1 of this best of 3. G-Pride taking on 0900. Theban, I think I'm leaning pretty heavily towards 0900's draft, the way it's looking. Do you think the same way? Are you going to go again against the curve into G-Pride?
I like the draft too. I like the Ember, the Riki combo. You got a lot of killing potential there with those 2 guys. The Beastmaster is going to provide all the tower pushing that you will need as well. Then you get the team fight from the Undying. It just looks like a really solid draft where on G-Pride, you feel like they gotta, win a lot of fights early on and try to take some kind of a snowball start for their ball to roll.
Yeah, get this PA up and running as quickly as you can. Do you reckon it's still going to be the Battle Fury PA?
30 seconds
Yeah. There's no other way to play this hero. There's just none.
You need to be able to farm your items one way or another.
Yeah. It's like a very one-dimensional item build for Phantom Assassin. You go like Battle Fury into Deso, or you go Battle Fury into BKB.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I was asking is because the pace at which it feels like G-Pride have to just keep going, isn't conducive for Battle Fury farming. But we'll see if they can create space for Teemo.
The battle begins.
Absolutely no contests on the bounty runes. No 5-man smokes. No nothing. Both of these
that's
teams
the first time.
Yeah, very content with just taking their own side. What's happened there? I guess it's game 1.
I don't know.
Early in the day.
I guess. Yeah, exactly. It's very early in the day. Especially for me, it's actually 1 a.m. But these guys are like, have some peace. At least let's wait for the daytime.
Let's have a balanced laning stage.
What lane are we actually looking at the most here? I think I'm mostly interested in this Mirana Beastmaster lane with the PA. Because both of these guys, they're gonna try to get some random kills. Beastmaster Mirana probably focusing the Wyvern, and the PA plus Wyvern focusing the Beastmaster.
Yeah, and it's that first minute or so where it's chipping away through the regen, right? And first blood goes the way of the Dire team in that top lane. Ricky and Undying.
That was definitely not the lane I was expecting first blooding, because Nature's Prophet is not really vulnerable against level 1 Undying and Ricky.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. Like level 1 decay, level 1 blink strike. There's no stuns, there's no slows in this lane. Even Nyx Assassin has got mana burn level 1.
Yeah. I mean, giving away first blood to the enemy carry, we know how that story goes, Gary.
And there's the bottom lane move. The PA and the Wyvern get on top of Greedy. Gets himself TP'd back to his tier 1 though. So he's salved up, and he'll be full HP just to return into this battle. So it's probably going to be him trading the salve that the Wyvern's holding in a few seconds. And in that mid lane, Ember up against Lesh. And it looks like KXY having a great time against Tau.
Yeah, this is actually not supposed to be a very favorable matchup for the Ember Spirit. Leshrac with Diabolic Edict, especially on level 3, should be able to pressure up the Ember. Ember can't really stand his ground and fight into that Lesh. That being said, though, he's doing extremely well right now. Pretty much has every single asset.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I did notice he dodged a couple of the split earth stuns from the Lesh. He kind of walked away from one, slight dodge the other. So Tau's having a few difficulties landing them on the Ember Spirit unless he's standing his ground. Yeah, it's a spectacular start for KXY. We're back down in that bottom lane. Pull into the camp. Kara's set it up. Sladin's trying to jump forward for the courier snipe. Does get it with the leap. Beastmaster farming pretty nicely down here. Guarded up by that Mirana.
Yeah, the lane manipulation with the arrow is just so nice. Sladen though, ooh, I don't know about
Very
this one,
aggressive
buddy.
jump.
Okay, he's gonna TP out. Good call.
Yeah, pop the wand and TP. Again, back to the tier 1, so you're immediately into the lane again. PA moving forward for the boar. Splinter Blast and the right clicks. PA's down to half HP here, though. Slide in.
You just need that Arctic Burn to be up again. It's like every 40 seconds, while the Arctic Burn is down, that's when 0900 is really strong in the lane. And then whenever it's up, that's when Radiant is strong in the lane. So you got like these small windows between both of the lanes to try and get something going. Teemo's playing extremely aggressively though, which is really good.
Yeah, every time a boar pops out of that Beastmaster, it's getting daggered, it's getting hit with Splinter Blast. Right click down by the PA. She is losing a lot of HP in the process, though, and the arrow from Mirana. Phantom Strike back to the Wyvern. Mirana leaps forward. PA, that's a dead PA.
Very nice.
So the aggression was good until it wasn't. And what happened at the top rune? Jericho gets the Arcane. Nyx came down to try and secure it as well. So we've got a couple of empty bottles for the mid laners.
You know how bad it feels to play Undying into non-strength heroes in your lane? It's a Nyx and a Nature's Prophet. Even the Nyx, like, you can't even fight him back because he's got a lot of HP regen. And then he's also got the mana burn. Take away your decays.
I didn't even think about that, but that's actually a pretty big problem for the Undying. You can try and bring them low, drop the Tombstone, but there's the TP out. No stuns gaming in that top lane for the Dire team.
I wonder if this Riki will go like an early point into Smokescreen against Nature's Prophet. Stop that teleportation from his second skill, maybe.
Oh, that'd be clever.
Get a random kill. Probably won't be worth it, to be honest.
Oh, great stun from Nyx, but the tricks of the trade. Very quick there. Still Dismar that gets the bounty rune. There's one still down at bottom lane as well. The Ember Spirit can go and refill his bottle with. A 2-0 start for 0900. Both of these side lanes looking real good, and Ember Spirit 8 CS ahead of the Leshrac, so I mean you'd consider these lanes to be a pretty good victory.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised about the Leshrac being this far behind the Ember. Every time I've seen this matchup, it was always Leshrac favored. Most of the times I've seen Leshrac actually solo killing Ember Spirit.
Especially when you go for those rune contests, like Ember and Lesh in the river before level 6. Yeah. KXY jungling himself up. Gets back to Fountain. Giving Mirana a little bit of room in the mid lane. We'll see if she gets a creep wave or not, because the Ember Spirit does come back in around that rune spawn time.
There's that Edict.
Illusion up at top, and yeah, the Edict, very oppressive
no,
force.
Dismar, no,
the Remnant.
what are you doing?
KXY just gets the rune. Dismar waiting on that high ground, looking for the stun, but the slight chain's there, and he dodges the impale. An arrow lands. Sladin sets it up on Lash, but the bodyguards of Wyvern and Nyx, they are there. Nyx Assassin just letting it happen.
Yeah, he should have just been sitting on top of that rune, waiting for the Ember to like walk in, and then you have a ward already on the high ground too. You can see if he's gonna cast Slide on you and try to take it, and just take it from him. Now the Ember had the bottle refill and the Leshrac didn't. Leshrac has to go back to base.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And that PA is left alone in a 1v1 against Beastmaster. Greedy is very happy about being able to lap up all of the
Dire's
creeps and
structures are
XP in that lane.
It's level 6 too, but he did go for a Bracer build. That means his Necronomicon is going to be much slower.
It looks
And
like Radiant...
He does need that. Oh, look at Tima. He's sitting in the creeps. Doesn't want to get roared into arrow.
Radiant's middle
Yep.
All right, he
is under
survives.
attack.
Nice.
And at the same time, they're making a move top. Like it was the Dire trying to dive bottom lane. PA's jumping back onto the Beastmaster. I don't know where to look, Theben, because Lesh is diving top lane. I think the Beastmaster's the one in the most trouble. Does turn with the Roar, the Arrow, but the Cold Embrace. Healing Teemo back up, and Greedy has to dip into the trees, hiding and salving. While top lane, Lesh, he's just pressuring that tower for now with the Diabolic Edict. They couldn't get a grab onto Ricky or Undying. There was some serious dancing in the trees, and yeah, the Ember Spirit, stunned up by the Nyx, forcing everyone from the Radiant back. He's remnanting forward, chainsing up on Dismar, Split Earth misses, and Ember Spirit secures a kill. And really puts the fear into the Lesh and the Prophet, who wanted to push that tower. Everything's working out for 0900. Maybe that PA's getting away with a little bit more than they'd want, but you know, one lane going even doesn't feel too bad.
It doesn't indeed. I mean, not only is it going even, but they forced the Beastmaster to use Roar, didn't get the kill, so the PA can actually stay here much longer than she should normally be able to stay down here. Typically, when the Beastmaster has Roar, and by this point in the game he has a Necro book as well, you can't really battle up into the PA.
And now you just go straight through the creep wave. Greedy. He's got boots. He's pretty speedy. Teemo gonna get slowed down by the boar as the Winter Wyvern comes. It looks like Mirana's arriving,
Nice.
but Ember Spirit with a slight chains. Dismar's dropping with a Flame Guard burning through him. It's just gonna be the 1-for-1 for now, but Mirana leaps forward, has an arrow still, aiming it, lining it up, but Kara has managed
No
to
more
slip away
Flame Guard.
thanks to Teemo jumping back in onto the Mirana, and Tao's arrival should signal the end of all that aggression down there.
Dire's courier
Oh, the Ember's
has been
Courier.
killed.
Phase boots down.
Radiant's
That's
top
going to be
tower
annoying for
is
him.
under
2 minutes
attack.
of no phase boots. I mean, the build that Ember has is the maxed out Flame Guard, so the moment the Flame Guard actually runs out, he can't do anything. They need to get the kill in the initial 20-second duration of that guard. But KXY, he is making a lot of pressure on this map, turning up the fights.
Yeah, that's what you want from your Ember Spirit. Get active, get involved. So now the lane swap of PA moving top, matching against the Ricky, both trying to get towards Battle Fury. Both of them level 7. The Prophet's gonna think about TPing top. He should come up here to help Teemo shove the tower.
Radiant's bottom
Working pretty
tower
quickly on that Orchid is Benjaz.
Dire's middle tower
And Undying just comes in with a tombstone. Chasing the PA, she's got Phantom Strike in 2 seconds and 12 1 charges.
Dire's top tower
Not really looking for the kill there, but definitely pressure. Still a tier 1 tower that comes tumbling down. And now the PA makes the additional jump. The Moonlight Shadow not quick enough. So a tower, a tombstone, and an Undying as a bonus kill in that top lane.
Good to open up the map
Swift
here.
little move up from
NP
Lesh, who is trying to
utilizing
get his
that.
Yule Scepter going. Regen Rune bottled, but honestly it's a surprise to me, Theben, that Lesh is, you know, low, like middle of the pack net worth wise.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is just starting with the laning stage and then not getting the runes. I would like to see him just farm up now, because this hero, if he falls behind in the early game, he's just going to feed nonstop. And he's playing into Ember, Beast, Undying, Ricky. Like, all these heroes are so good against Leshrac in the mid-late game at least.
You get stunned once, you die. He's going to need that Yule Scepter desperately. Slight chains misses from Ember Spirit. He knew where they were roughly.
Radiant's middle
Does
tower
claim
is
them a
falling.
tower. And next Assassin's Vendetta. He is scouting. He spots Mirana. Sladin might get caught here. Does have the backup of the Beastmaster, and look at that. Leap away under the Dire Sentry. just catching a glimpse of the Nyx, who gets his carapace off, but already roared and arrowed, shredded by the magic
Very
damage
nice
here from 0900. And you're right, that's that sentry. Spot on. The PA has jumped in underneath Tombstone. Aggressive from Teemo. This Ember Spirit's going to chase her down with his chains arriving in 2 seconds. The Phantom Strike back makes a bit of space for the PA. And Prophet's also TPing in for the
Ooh,
Winter's
nice
Curse. Nice on the Undying, takes him down, and the Flame Guard's ending. Theban, what you said, it's coming to a close, but the PA still dies, and the chase on the Prophet, who's coming here very angrily, screaming and shouting at his opponents, but he'll just lose his life. Leshrac at least has a bit of magic damage behind him to push on to Beastmaster, but the Ember and the Mirana,
This is done.
they found a little bit of a hidey hole, and you're right, they don't have the reach.
Tal just not throwing the stun out there. My goodness. I mean, the PA just turning up to that fight is just a huge mistake, I think, on her end. She's just got to focus on farming this Battle Fury at this point. Let your team do everything, and then show up to the fight like super late so you can get like a kill or two. Her being at the start and using her body as a bait like that is just not efficient. And now the Riki is just taking over her. 1,000 gold already.
Oh, KXY nearly kills the Nyx, just running him around. And Winter Wyvern's come in to sacrifice herself, walk into the arrow, and allow Dismar to survive. Oh, yeah, that PA jumping in under Tombstone, there was something wrong with that. And now you're looking at like the difference between PA and Riki. It was so close. And they were both pretty much identical Battle Fury timings a minute or two ago. And now Riki, he's got his in 300 gold, and PA still needs the full Claymore.
Nyx hunting the Beastmaster.
Well, with the Lesh here, I'll try, and with that Nature's Wrath, it blows him up. Lesh is still sitting around half HP, and Ember Spirit's rotating down. Oh, he's not got much mana. They see him with a Winter's Curse. What's the stun capabilities, though, onto this Ember Spirit? Pretty lacking, so he just remnants out and leaves the Undying to try and Soul Rip and Tombstone and, well, just fall flat on his face. Undying there was a bit excited, throws the Tombstone down thinking they're going to fight.
At least Ember had a remnant somewhere really far away that he was able to jump into. If it wasn't for that, sure kill. So let's take a look at G-Pride's like map control right now. 0900 have the mid and the bottom tower. They're playing up in your jungle. G-Pride, you need to like try to group up, maybe get a smoke kill with the Nyx, and then go onto the mid tier 1 and take that back so they can have some freedom on this map. They have a Leshrac, NP, and PL. These guys need a lot of space to farm. And the longer this game goes, the harder it's going to be to take that tier 1 tower, because 0900 are going to look to fight all the time.
Yeah, and here they come. Smoked up into the Radiant Triangle. They know that there's someone farming up here, and they see the Ancients dying. PA just about slips away with the blur. Oh, they don't find her. Very close. I'll give the Wyvern instead.
Yeah, they're playing really well on 900 side right now in terms of aggressive moves. Constantly trying to stop this PA from farming or focusing her down whenever she shows up into the fights. These are the kind of teams that you would hate to play against if you're a carry player, Gary.
Because they're hunting for you. They know.
Yep.
You want
And then
your
there are
items
teams
timing,
who just give you everything.
Radiant's middle tower.
and then kill you after anyway. Arrow catches Lash. Ember Spirit, he's having his Flame Guard burn through, but the Lash is already dead. The Orchid, though, Benjaz comes in to slice into Ember. The trouble is, the rest of his team have already died. Winter Wyvern, with a curse, catches KXY. It's a big one as well. But they lose 3 heroes in the exchange.
That curse was a must for G-Pride, just to salvage that. I mean, Leshrac died to the Blade Mill. That was crazy. Teemo, though, he's next.
Oh my goodness, yeah. No Raw, no Necro units.
Jericho's coming for you, boy.
He's a big boy. The Boomer. Look at his belly. He's chasing the PA. Get away. They're all TPing mid to try and defend this, but there's nothing left to defend. Oh, that dire vision in the triangle. Sentry Ward doesn't quite catch it.
I love the Undying. The dad bod.
The dad
Undying
bod.
set. Yeah.
But he's like those Spartan. He's like a Spartan dad bod. You know that once.
It's actually so nice.
Yeah. All body types. That's the kind of thing I stand for. Jericho, come on. Get your ulti back off cooldown.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Man, Ricky. I've not clicked on him in a while, Theban. He's been silently farming. 9k net worth, Aghanim Scepters, 1500 gold away. And he is really a huge threat right now. Backed up by the entirety of his team. And they've got an Ember Spirit Remnant down here. So he can clear the top wave, Remnant down, start a proper fight. Because they go on the Ricky, they're blowing him up.
Ooh, wow.
Ricky, the massive threat, he's neutralized. And a Winter's Curse on the
Nice
Beastmaster
curse.
means Greedy's down as well. G-Pride, they absolutely make the perfect move, catching Ricky, killing off the Beast, Undying's dropping low, turning onto Dismar though, as the low ground is being held here by G-Pride, and KXY is toying with him a little bit. Ember Spirit, he gets in there, kills off Dismar, but they've lost the supporting crew. KXY silenced up now, and what's he got left? Absolutely nothing. Ben just dies to the tombstones and the summons in the end, as Greedy gets 1 collateral kill, but 0900 losing 4.
Dire's middle tower is under
That
attack.
fight, like,
Dire's structures
that went
are fortified.
95% right for G-Pride, you know? The only thing they missed out on was killing the Undying before he could get the tombstone off. That was it. That was such a perfect execution onto Ricky. The follow-up curse onto the Beastmaster was coming in to help. And G-Pride, they find themselves in a pretty decent position now. I mean, the PA had Battle Fury halfway to her Desolator already. And if she hits that timing, it's going to be getting much harder for 0900 to fight.
Especially if she gets into, you know, past the Deso into Abyssal Blade, right? Because that gives the catch that G-Pride have been lacking severely so far. Jump on the Ember Spirit, stun him up. Because right now, Nyx Assassin feels like the only way they can properly start a team fight. He's their stun, he's their catch, he's the carapace against the Ember Spirit Flame Guard. And here's the way they started off on that fight bottom lane against the Ricky.
Dire
Yeah, right. He's everything in this team. Like, all the initiations have been from him. Maybe you get, like, a random Winter's Curse that could destroy a team fight. But other than that, the Nyx is... He's going to have to do so much. And it's so hard, too, to do that as a position 4.
I mean, even the Winter's Curses, like, Nyx is your vision as well, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have that Observer Ward in a good place, Nyx, he is your mobile ward.
They have a little bit of freedom, though, with this Nature's Prophet Orchid right now. Maybe if you have, like, a Leshrac setting up on the side lanes while Ember is split pushing, you can TP in with your NP, Orchid him. He did go for that Blade Mail build.
Oh, they find the
They
Lesh.
know where this Lesh is. Yeah, they're the ward deep in the triangle area. Not
Why, hello there.
Radiant's top tower
Tao, you're blocked.
can't move.
You can't move.
Oh,
Tries
God.
to TP, but the arrow was already well on its way.
Yeah, he's like, guys, why can't I move? What's going on?
Stuck.
My hero's stuck, yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Wasn't a great spot to be in.
Radiant's top tower
Tier
is
1
under attack.
claimed up by 0900, as Ricky,
Bottom tower
400 away from his Aghanim Scepter now, actually swings into the Roche Pit with Tombstone and the summons from Greedy. They're trying to bring this Roche down as quickly as they can because response-wise, G-Pride, they're going to be late for this no matter what happens. They have no idea.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Easy Roshan for 0900.
It's such good damage output. The Undying, Flesh Golem, plus the Beastmaster, summons, and Inner Beast. Did
Yeah,
that pretty
there's-
quickly as well.
Cruise through the Roche take.
Yeah,
So now
this
you
is
have
gonna
to deal
make,
with... I was going to say you
Go
have to
ahead.
deal with Aegis Ricky.
Yeah, Aegis Ricky. So this is going to give them so much more freedom in the team fights for the Ricky. He can just jump in with his Aghanims onto the Ember, just go ham in the backline. Doesn't really matter if he dies the first time around or gets, like, Winter's Cursed.
Yeah. Aghanim's Ricky tricks the trade onto Ember, who slight the fists into the middle of people. That's gonna be fun to see. Because Ember's model like moves in the sleight of fist onto the targets he's hitting, right? So the Ricky tricks are gonna move the circle as well, jump around everywhere.
Yep.
Well, for now,
I think the
G-Pride.
best, the best one is, like, Ember with Aghanims. Yeah, with that build.
Oh, with the remnants just chasing around the map as Ricky tries to chase the PA. Do they have reveal here for the Ricky?
Oh, they got
because
him.
they've got a
They got
chains
the
on the
PA.
PA. Oh my god, they do. KXY is there. Ricky's Yule's up. The TP from Tao. Where's the stun? There's a Yule's coming. They catch him out.
is under attack.
Damn, that hasten
Wait, who's-
really ruined them.
Has been
Whose Yule's was that? That was Lesh's
The
Yule's.
Ember's Yules. Ember.
Ember's Yule's?
Ember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You thought he griefed himself with that Yule?
Well, that's what I was a little confused for a second. I'm not gonna lie, I just woke up. But Ember does have a Yule Scepter, that's my bad. Yule's Blade Mail. Yeah, good catch. Lesh and PA. Huge kills. They're hunting Nyx Assassin now. Beastmaster and Ricky, they're doing the real job. They're doing the good work. Pushing lanes, getting towards the enemy base. That arrow, slides straight in front of him. Nyx is making space here for his dead carries. Forcing the Dire team back into their own jungle. And it actually means they catch out Ricky in the mid lane. Ricky's gone for this push into mid. He's silenced up. They get the Wyvern with a Roar though, and Lesh Strength, they burst the Aegis. The rest of 0900 are bloody miles away. Nyx Assassin buys back and they stun the Ricky. Down he goes through the Aegis. 2 lives gone.
Yeah, they were thinking about maybe coming in, helping this out. Oh, Jericho, what you doing there, buddy? Your Ricky is dead.
Looks like he's dead, mate. Lesh, though, that is a nice Chains Arrow. Greedy gets the takedown. Now, PA and Nyx, they're sticking around for the 2-man Impale, but this Flame Guard burning through them, pops the Blade Mail, turns onto the Prophet, who TP's out now. The axes cut the trees, but they've got Teemo shredded by the Ember Spirit with this double damage rune. A double kill for KXY is a 4 for 4. Pretty much everybody dies.
Yeah, Nyx died back there. Yeah, like you said, 4 for 4. I mean, the Nature's Prophet kind of left that fight. I didn't notice why. Was he really low there? Because maybe if he stuck around and got another Orchid on the Ember or something like that, slowed him down, they could have really had a better engagement. But again, PA, she got a bunch of kills. I mean, she's only like 1,000 gold behind the Ricky, which is wonderful for her.
Yeah, it feels real good. But what was the Ricky doing behind a tier 2 mid lane with just a Beastmaster?
Yeah,
going a little bit too aggressive.
Slay. Exactly. The Nyx Assassin buyback definitely secured that team fight as well in the beginning. I mean, yeah, 9 going in with that Tombstone without your Ricky was quite questionable.
Yeah, it's very, very snappy decision making. I'm not going to say the decisions were good or bad, but you know, very, very quick movements from both teams in terms of deciding what they want to do and following the call of the leader.
Well, in Dota, Gary, you always want to play with the numbers advantage. So when your Ricky is dead like that and he's our 12k or 13k hero, you're pretty much playing with the 13k disadvantage at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't want to be doing that stuff and, you know, leaving it to chance whether you win the fight or not.
Well, Ricky nearly has BKB, so mitigating the loss of the Aegis a little bit there. We'll see if we can get into one of these fights as Ember Spirit. Well, that's some serious deja vu. Exactly the same position the PA was in before, but Ember's silenced. Flame Guard Blade Mail now expiring. Gets tagged by the Impale, but in comes Ricky, tricks the trade onto the Ember, who was still stunned. Diving with a Remnant, aggressively onto the Wyvern, trying to catch the backlines, chains up on Lesh. Now the jump from Ricky, with a smoke screen there. Undying, he's very speedy, sprints into the middle of battle. They've roared Tau, but he's got the Cold Embrace on him, so a bit of heal coming. A magic burst, and now the Ricky tricks. They do clear him up. And the Wyvern can't even get a spell off, just burst down by the Undying and the summons of Beastmaster. Well, PA in the Yules, Phantom Strike to the high ground. And the slight chains, they don't land. Still 2 good pickoffs for 0900 as they secure this Radiant Triangle, de-ward it, and now look for the tier 2s.
Man, it's crazy sometimes to watch South American teams. Like, you go and fight them and they will always entertain you no matter what. They don't try to run away, they don't try to split push, you know, get to their items in a lot of these situations. Like the PA, she has no business being there. Just go farm your BKB. The moment you get your BKB, you're like a god in this game, right? So instead, taking very suboptimal fights for the time being is causing her to slow down her timings heavily.
As soon as you're right, as soon as one spell is cast, it's like a duel has been ordered, you know? I demand satisfaction. Yeah. One spell is thrown and everyone, you know, starts lining up, squaring up for the match. They are all itching for battle. I guess that's what happens when you have, you know, like a series a week. You make that series really entertaining and worthwhile. Mirror move from Benjas to try and get out across the map to take that tier 2 bottom. Might lead in his death as the Ember Spirit and Marana do find the jump, but the PA and the Nyx, they're both here with some sick damage.
There we
Teemo.
go. That's the split push. That's what we were looking for. Split push into a bait. You know, you got a Nyx assassin on your team. Damn, that damage.
Yeah, the 2-man stun from Nyx, pretty sweet as well. And that's all this Prophet baiting them in.
Exactly. And the Ember has to click his Flame Guard, right? To do damage with the build that he goes anyway. So you're going to just click that Spike Carapace. Get the insta stun on the Ember. Follow up with that Impale, and the PA should have enough time to kill him. Like, this is what I mean by split push. Get them to be split up on the map, and then get the pickoffs like that until you have enough items to be able to 5v5. Because they're kind of just 5v5ing while they're halfway to most of their items. Look at this PA. Now she's got that BKB. Now is the time, if you ever want to entertain your opponent's smokes, you do so.
And now you can start playing little map. You don't have to play that wide, big map anymore. You can group up as 5, like you say, O900 have been doing for quite a while. Another smoke and a Moonlight Shadow, but it's under the Nyx's nose. Dismar spots
Got rid of the
them.
wards. That's good.
I'm going high ground. Necro units, boars, all the summons coming. Kill off the Observer ward, so yeah, they remove all of that Radiant Vision.
You don't want to fight there though if you're G-Pride already. If you backed up that far, then the high ground Tombstone was going to come naturally. You would have lost that fight. So get out, smoke. They know that Roshan is probably up very soon. Oh, it could have only started spawning now, so probably not up from their perspective, but they are smoked.
Yeah, like a minute and a half. It's another smoke from O900 coming up to another high ground staircase. Teemo roared up, cold embrace, but the arrow's there. Magic damage galore, but the Nyx finds the Ember in the backline, stunning him up. So the PA is still alive, gets off a BKB in time. Slardin trying to leap away. They've killed off the Nyx though, as Ricky bursts through him and Lash is isolated. A double for the Ricky, forced the Winter's Curse him. Mirana, the only casualty from the Dire so far, as the Remnants racing around the map. KXY. He was so close to finding the Wyvern or the Prophet. Not quite to be.
Very awkward from Teemo to be the first one to make the point of contact against O900. He just needs to let the Nyx or the Leshrac go in. If they touch the Leshrac first, and then they get that cold embrace off, then the PA has, like, you know, all the targets that she could possibly go on, right? She'll get all the vision from somebody else's body instead of being roared up, locked down, popping BKB with like 400 HP left. It just feels terrible.
Yeah, and the fact that Lesh does something during Cold Embrace, right? If he's got Pulse Nova or Edict or both on, whereas the PA is just sat there, sitting duck, getting hit by arrows and chains. I mean, she BKB'd on like 300, 400 HP and still felt really comfortable, you know, jumping into fight.
She doesn't have any lifesteal at the moment, though. So once she has some lifesteal, then she'll feel comfortable really committing to fights, even if she's a little bit low. So one good strategy, Gary, you can do. I just want to say, if you can't kill the enemy carry in a team fight, if you at least bring them down low enough and make them uncomfortable, they're probably gonna run away, and you will still win the fight because of it.
Yeah, and it's that same lesson can go into laning stage as well, right? Like you're kind of chipping away at people, put them in there's that threshold of where they could potentially die. So they don't show on the creep wave. They've got to bring another salve and they're not comfortable sitting in that lane.
And then you're getting all the free last hits without even having your opponent contest you for those last hits. Exactly. Very similar concept. But sometimes people forget like how that thing could be applicable into the late game.
HP is a resource. It's still a big lesson to be learned. I just clicked on PA and noticed she's gone for the armor corruption talent. And I know that in previous games, I know on panel, there's been a lot of discussion about this. And for a fact, I know Lizard and Lacoste like to have a battle over there, the blur talent versus corruption. And I've always leaned towards blur evasion, especially when you're against summons and lots of little crap starting to hit you. What do you think the reason is here for the corruption, the -3 armor?
Just the burst potential, like purely the burst potential. I think in the last patch when evasion was at 50%, it made more sense to go for the armor, minus armor. Like I think 95% of the games, all the PA players would go for the minus armor. We're talking like Miracle, Arteezy, you know, Amit, like all these guys. And then on this patch though, I think you can make a very good argument for the blur evasion. And the reason why people didn't go blur is because of MKBs. Like they're buying MKB against you anyway. right? So
Yeah.
what is the point of going for this blurry vision when you can get the minus armor, you can just burst people instead of having to get that one little extra hit in or just be able to kill them before they can get mech off, wand off. Like
The big difference
there's so much
maker.
potential. Exactly, that's going to be definitely the big difference maker. -3 armor is huge for a hero like Phantom Assassin and how the hero functions. But I would say though, this game, Blurry Vision is quite nice playing against Beastmaster, the summons. You got Ember Spirit, who probably won't be buying MKB or Rapier with the kind of build that he's going for this game.
Radiant are scanning.
Ricky can. Ricky Rapier. It's coming.
Yeah, Ricky
It's-
can.
It's time. But yeah, I think that's a great point. Last patch MKB, and then South America this patch in DPC. It's Rapier time. So much True Strike. Well, a bit of calm and a bit of reset after the pause. Dire momentum slowed a little bit as they come back into the jungle to farm, but also reset their lanes because Nature's Prophet is a pest. He is shoving both side lanes pretty hard across the river. Benjaz gonna grab himself up a new neutral item. Ceremonial Robe goes straight into the shop. And what else have they got? There's Quickening Charm still back there. Lash opting for the Cloak of Flames instead of it. PA Elven Tunic. Winter Wyvern with the Robe. Dire team still with a bit of work to do. Got a couple of neutral items still yet to be grabbed. So that's probably the big reason why they're jungling right now. Hit those creeps.
Ceremonial Robe, that's a good item. Very good item.
Oh, for the Beastmaster? Yeah.
For a lot of heroes, yeah. I mean, it's just a team aura, right? Team enemy debuff aura
Yeah.
thing, so it's very good with your Ember even. Ember's chains last longer. You're doing plenty of magic damage.
Well, I've got to put it on someone. Give it to Mirana, give it to Undying. Anybody.
Yeah, I
Right
hope
now.
so they put it on someone. The thing is, like, the benefit that it gives you is just like mana, right? No mana regen, HP regen, or anything like that. So people are like, oh, I don't want it, you take it. I don't want it, you take it.
I don't need a mana pool. It's useless. Second Roshan going to 0900, but this time it's scouted. G-Pride know about it. The Roar, initiation from Beastmaster onto Nyx. Daggers are coming from the PA and the Lash sprint straight in, but the tricks of the trade have already dismantled
No tomb.
Dismar. The tomb, has it already been taken out? They're chasing forward with potential, but Lash just yules and resets again.
Yeah, they kill the Undying right away
right.
with the Orchid, so this could be a really, really good fight for
Oh,
G-Pride
the
here.
Chains Arrow. The buyback on Nyx Assassin. The Cold Embrace. It buys him time. The Winter's Curse is there onto Ricky with Mirana hitting him, but they need the chain stuns. Nyx impaled with a PA blink
got
and
it.
a big crit. Timo slices the Ricky in half. Now Mirana Ember Spirit still trying to wage a war here, but a BKB from Prophet makes sure that Mirana
Very nice BKB.
destroyed by the Wrath of Nature and the Ember Spirit has to retreat.
Ember was waiting for that arrow to land onto the NP and commit to that fight, but Benjas getting that BKB off the last second. Now they steal the Aegis and the cheese. Oh, Undying, you've done this before, sir.
He's soul ripping, he's healing, he's got the tombstone down. Ember Spirit still trying to make his way on top of the Leshrac, and Tau close to death, but KXY has no mana left. Another 1.1k crit, and Jericho, well, he's waddling away with his dad bod, but
Meanwhile,
the damage
bottom.
from Timo is clearing him up. And wait, Theban,
Japan.
no.
Meanwhile, in
What-
Japan.
What is happening in Japan? No. Bottom lane, they're losing their bloody barracks.
Has fallen.
There's 5 heroes dead on 0900, and this game, it's been turned on its head.
Are under attack.
Hey, live. Yeah, you should, sir. You had no business running in there with the tombstone after Roshan was already taken.
Is under
Prophet just soloed the bottom lane. It's gone.
Yep.
Dire's middle
I mean,
tower has fallen.
I'm telling you, 0900 is just completely tilting right now. Like, they lose the Undying right away with the Orchid, and all they had to do was back off. Let the Ember poke into the Roshan pit if G-Pride try to go in there with Sleight of Fist. And then wait for the Undying to revive. Then you take the engagement. He's your #1 team fighting hero. And they took the engagement around Roshan without him.
Respect that pos 5. Oh man, there's a PA with a DD rune here. Assault Cuirass on Benja's
Yep.
Prophet. Like, I'm actually rubbing my eyes, wondering, is this a dream? What's happened? 0900, they were cruising.
Top tower.
This Ricky looks so hot. Then he's died, what, 2-3 times in a row very quickly?
He got the curse into a stun is like an incredible combo. You can't really, BKB from that. So you have to like get your team to find this Winter Wyvern first before you commit to the fight. They were doing a good job at staying split, but then the Beastmaster was way too split, and he just instantly got killed by the Phantom Assassin, and the fight just turned horrible.
And it's another Nyx buyback that's really, won a team fight for them. He dies, he basically forces them to spend Roar on him. And he comes back and he sets up all of these stuns, the Carapace, the Impale. He nearly breaks the smoke here. 0900, they're going, oh, Ember, Beastmaster, Mirana. They're walking in towards him.
It'd be bad if he broke the smoke. He has a gem.
Oh yeah, true. Well, he's spotting for them anyway. Jump on the Mirana, but missed the stun. Slight chains onto PA, and Nyx Assassin being focused. The arrow catches the Phantom Assassin under Tombstone, but the Winter's Curse on the zombie. Misclick by the Wyvern. Nyx Assassin's getting healed up by the Cold Embrace, but Ricky's BKB, he's come here now to slice through them. A dominating streak still for the Prophet. Ember Spirit losing his mana and his HP at a drastic rate. Chain stunned after the mana burn. The PA slices him, and the Ricky's gone as well. Teemo is dominating.
I've seen this movie before, Gary. In South America, this is enough. This is enough. This is like, in the horror movies when you got like the last two people left alive,
and one of them goes upstairs.
No. You got last two people left alive, and the movie's coming to an end.
Oh right.
Because it's the two main characters, right?
Yeah.
And they're about to catch whoever the back. Yeah, there you go. See, right there. GG, just like that. That's it.
That sure was one hell of a Dota 2 video game.
I mean, the game ended in like what, 3 minutes? Like it just blew up in 3 minutes. That Roshan fight.
It really was just the Roshan fight. 0900, they were in the driving seat for the majority of that game. 30 odd minutes of